Hello and welcome to a video on TCGplayer. I'm Steve Rubin, going through Mono Red Gift in Standard. I saw this deck kind of from the Star City Open. Rob Vaughn played it, and it seems like a pretty sweet deck. It's definitely got some punch that didn't exist in kind of God-Pharaoh's gift decks before. Now with Skirk Prospector. Basically, Skirk Prospector is kind of funny because it's just a card printed a long time ago, and they don't really make these kind of like cheat on mana like Dark Ritual kind of cards before anymore. So the fact that they reprinted this card gives you this unique opportunity to kind of break it, and this is a deck that I've seen perform in such a way that seems a little bit broken. Like once you get the Skirk Prospector, essentially you can sack it or any goblin to add mana, which loots with Gate of the Afterlife, which kind of allows you to cheat on mana, get more stuff into play, sack it, get 6 creatures in your graveyard to get God-Pharaoh's gift. A pretty awesome deck, whoever thought of it. So kudos to the first person. I don't know who they are. If there were, I would totally name drop you. But we're playing with 23 mountains. Pretty interesting because normally you'd see some sort of like cycle lands or creature lands or disruption, but you really need all the mountains you can get to play Chainwhirler. And you also kind of want to curve out because while this deck is pretty low to the ground, you do have some like 4 and 5 mana plays, and even God-Pharaoh's gift. Sometimes you hard cast, or you want all your even mana to come into play untapped, so you can play a big ballista. It's pretty important. You have a lot of untapped mana that just produces red. Unfortunately, we know that Rest in Peace Ramanap Ruins has been banned from Standard, so you can't play that one. So we just got 23 mountains. Interestingly enough, I've found that the 23 mountains, while it looks goofy, actually has a functionality against decks that play Field of Ruin, especially when you have Combat Celebrant and Goblin Chainwhirler, because their normal plan of like Field of Ruining you and then using that to revolt a Fatal Push doesn't work when your deck is literally all basics because they can't sacrifice their Field of Ruin. So that can actually be a pretty awesome kind of tech against black decks, is just to only have basics, especially when you have good 3-drops. So let's just go ahead and get the 1-drops. 2 Fanatical Firebrand. So these are just kind of extra cheap goblins that you can use to sack for mana, or this can sack to itself, which means you can kind of ping your own stuff or kill their creatures and get your gate online faster. Pretty self-explanatory. Why it's in the deck. It's obviously a 2-0 because it's just not that powerful, and you just need a critical mass of creatures, and the cheap ones kind of being able to sack themselves lets you kind of surprise go off. So that's kind of why he's in the deck. We have 4 Skirk Prospector. The reason to kind of play this deck, you can ramp stuff out. You can have big turns. Looks pretty innocent, but it's pretty powerful card. Bomat Courier, just the premier like mono red kind of card in Standard. It is a threat on its own that has to be dealt with. Also in this deck, you do have the opportunity to use it to pitch your entire hand to get you right to gate, which is awesome. Combat Celebrant, the reason that these red gift decks exist, it's kind of like your Angel of Invention, your kill condition. It gives you an extra attack when you do get your God-Pharaoh's gift, which triggers on every combat. So for every extra attack you have, you actually get to reanimate an additional creature. Goblin Chainwhirler, kind of another reason we're seeing a push to mono red. Pretty awesome card, really good blocker, randomly blows out like decks that play like Llanowar Elves and Glintsleeve Siphoner. It's kind of a weird card because a lot of the times it's just not doing much, but even when it's not doing much, it's a 3/3 first strike that deals your opponent some damage when it comes into play. Not a lot, but it's just a really good combat creature, and you just have random games when it's like, oh hey, I just killed 1 or 2 of your creatures with this. Awesome. Gate, that's kind of how the deck works. Once you have 6 creatures in your graveyard, you can go get your God-Pharaoh's gift. Little bit cheaper to only have to pay 5 mana total over 2 turns. A lot of the times you can even do this on turn like 4, or even potentially turn 3 if you have Skirk Prospector and some goblins in play. Because you kind of make the mana off the Prospector, then you use it to crack the gift. 2 Hazoret. This is kind of the weirdest number, I think, in terms of the cards. Hazoret is weird because you're not really a Hazoret deck. Like, we're not a burn deck. We're not really an aggro deck, but Hazoret is still just really hard to deal with and can function to put creatures in your graveyard. Generally, it doesn't really come up, but the ability to do that is somewhat relevant. Some decks just have a trouble dealing with Hazoret, which is why you play 4. You can't always go to like 1 or 0 cards in your hand. So we're just playing 2 because it's a pretty powerful card, and just if you're playing a mono red curve out deck, can just win you games. Rowdy Crew, this card's pretty sick in this deck. A lot of the times you do have a lot of creatures, 31, so you do end up, you know, just spiking Rowdy Crew. Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but you have 23 lands and 31 creatures. Like, with about half, if half of your deck's creatures, you just have like a 1/4 shot of getting this online or winning the 2 counters off of just creatures. Then you have lands, of course, and artifacts. So I don't know. I think maybe it's around 33% that you actually get this, give or take, of course. And if not, you're still fueling your graveyard, and you're still getting rid of extra lands a lot of the times, because while it is random, you do not only net a card, but you can like play all your creatures and then play this at the end, which lets you kind of abuse the randomness a little bit. Siege Gang Commander, this card is really fun to play with in this deck. It's your kind of go-to grindy card. Also works with Skirk Prospector. Really great card to bring back with God-Pharaoh's Gift. Pretty much does it all. Except for being cheap, I suppose. Walking Ballista, another reason to lets you go a little bit deep on Gate of the Afterlife. You just play a lot of creatures. You can play the Walking Ballista for 0. Acts as removal. Late game does everything. It's not all-star on the deck, but it's just never bad. Going on to the sideboard, pretty straightforward. Your mono red, you don't have that many options. I played 3 Magma Spray, 4 Braid. Magma Spray for any creature decks, a Braid for any artifact decks, really good in the mirror against other God-Pharaoh's Gift. 3 Glorybringer, 3 Chandra. Pretty much just for big creature decks. Chandra more for control, but they do double time, and 2 Direfleet Daredevil. That's just kind of there. I put it in specifically for like the kind of gift mirrors that get pretty grindy and are all about like abrading all of your opponent's stuff. So hopefully that helps there. Can also probably be good against grindy black decks. So that's the deck. I haven't actually played with this deck before. This is the first time I've done a video on TCG without playing a deck beforehand, at least like 2 leagues. So hopefully it goes pretty well. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys for round 1. All right. Hello and welcome to round 1. Won the die roll. We're going first. This hand is fine. We have a Gates of the Afterlife and a Combat Celebrant, so we kind of have both parts of the ability to kind of go hard and combo off. Opponent leads on island, sure. Probably just gonna run out the Ballista here. Gonna need another land. I can just run out the gate next turn. If I don't draw a land by sacking the Prospector, but I don't think that's necessarily ideal. I'd rather sack the Prospector somehow after I get the gate in play. That way I get the trigger. Blue-white deck. Turn 2 search. Okay. I mean, if I don't draw a land here, I could be in kind of a world of pain. Okay, we draw the land. So I'm not really that afraid of removal right now. He could have Seal Away. So there is a world where I can just like no attack and set up combo, but assuming he's got like counter magic fall, if he just, well, maybe I'm supposed to play the gate before he has the ability to counter it. Whereas like if he counters the Combat Celebrant, as long as it's not a Syncopate, then, which I don't think they play normally, then I'm getting cards into my graveyard anyway. The problem is the Celebrant puts a ton of pressure on him and almost forces him to try to deal with the Celebrant itself. Like, well, to be fair, the Celebrant doesn't hit that. I mean, hits for 4 a turn and can get Seal Awayed. Oh, man. I think I'm supposed to just play the gate. Maybe try to get some work in before he can cast out it. This is probably one of the harder matchups. They just have a lot of counter magic. Can kill Gift of the Afterlife game 1. But I think the plan is to just kind of try to slog through here. So I can get 4 creatures in the graveyard. 5 creatures. Should be able to get 6 creatures in the graveyard here. Get my gift. It's a pretty good draw, I guess, because it's just free. What happens if he counters it? Then I can just... I can't actually get there, I don't think. Unless I, like, loot into another Ballista or 1 mana dude. But let's start with this and just see what he does. Okay, let's make a mana. Don't know what we're going to loot into. Siege Ganger. So I can hardcast the Celebrant. But could get like syncopated. The problem is I can't hardcast anything else. I guess I can hardcast a Hazoret. So maybe what I do is I discard Celebrant, actually. Ballista him. And then sack this Prospector. And then I can get the Combat Celebrant back, which will give me 2 combats. Even if he's got like a seal away. I can, I actually think I want the land. Because the land lets me attack with Hazoret this turn. If I want to. If it resolves. I don't think it will, but... Okay, we sack this. Also, if I draw something good, I can just pitch the land. Oh, I can't cast the Hazoret. I need to use that mana. What am I thinking? So, I can cast the Hazoret next turn, so I think I discard the Siege Gang. Right? I could discard the Chainwhirler, because then if I draw another land, I could hardcast the Siege Gang. I completely forgot about the 2 mana for some reason. Sorry, this is literally the first game I'm playing with this deck, so I'm kind of new to this. But it's not that likely I draw a land. Casting the Chainwhirler might put some more pressure on without having to draw the land. So yeah, let's just discard this. And let's do that. Oh, I can play the Chainwhirler this turn. Okay. So I definitely keep the Chainwhirler. I forgot that I had the ability to... Let me blow up the graveyard so you guys can see it. Oh, God. So we just play this post-combat, I guess. See what he does pre-combat. I wonder if it's even worth getting the Celebrant. No, he's got a blink of the eye. Okay. Well, now I'm just screwed. Did not expect that card. But he is prepared. But not necessarily dead. Like, I have a Hazoret this next turn. If it resolves. Okay, I guess I probably should play around Censor. Just because one of my only ways of winning is if this resolves and I get to start beating down. I can maybe resolve a God-Pharaoh's Gift, or I do have 6 creatures in the graveyard right now because I didn't exile any, so I can definitely win if I top deck a Gate of the Afterlife. Okay, well that kind of changes my clock by a lot. Double seal away. It's pretty unfortunate. Okay. Glimmer? Gross. Yeah, that's probably game. We tried our best. Both teams fought hard. Play the Bomat. Attack. Gearhulk. Gearhulk Glimmer. Okay. Can probably just scoop, but he just did go bottom, so maybe I can mise and win with a land. Problem is, now that he has a Gearhulk in play, it's actually makes it a lot harder for me to win. Like, I can make 4/4s, but he can just block them. Okay, this game. Okay, game 2. I think we want Chandra's and Daredevil. I think that Chainwhirler is actually probably pretty bad here. I want to maintain the ability to go off quickly. So I think actually Siege Gang might be bad. Even though it's like a really good threat against them, it just costs a lot of mana. It can like easily be countered, or they can play a Fumigator, settle the wreckage, and I don't get anything out of it, really. Where like all my other expensive threats are actually not only able to kill my opponent, but maybe able to get... Well, I mean, Hazoret can just kill by itself, and Rowdy Crew can kind of get me cards. So I think I'm going to cut 3 Siege Gangs and 2 Chainwhirlers. Because we're kind of replacing the Siege Gang with Chandra, which is just better here. Okay, I've got two awesome threats in the Gate and the Chandra. And we do have a turn 1 Bomat against blue-white, which is like classic powerful opener for red decks. I guess they have Seal Away now with the introduction of Dominaria. So, oh, I just realized I actually set this up, but then forgot that. There we go. That way you can see the entire screen. Sorry about that. So we play Ballista. It's possible that the Direfleet Daredevil is just bad. Just because the spells that are good are like pretty expensive, or counter spells, I guess, which don't really matter, and they've got like enchantments. So this might have been a misboard. This is more for like red mirrors and black decks. Alright, let's attack first. If he's got a Seal Away, he'll do it with the trigger on the stack, and then we can just resolve Gate. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't feel great, but I get to resolve my Gate. I think I just slam this. It's possible it's better to do this on his Glimmer turn. But I feel as if he's got cyclers, he has the ability to just start cycling into counter magic. So while it feels weird, I think testing them is right. Could end up being punished, but the Celebrant isn't an unreasonable play here. But now he's going to get to Glimmer. Yeah, that was probably wrong. It just feels weird to play nothing. Oh, he's got a cast out. I think that's fine. I mean, he gets my gate, but I'm pretty far away from making that a real play anyway. So much of their removal exiles, actually, and Settle the Wreckage. It makes it pretty hard to, like, build up a mass of creatures in your graveyard, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play that land out. That way, if he glimmers, I can Daredevil it next turn. Settle. Okay. Guess I just put a counter on this. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. I shouldn't have boarded this in. It was just bad. Like, most of their spells just don't even matter. So that was a mistake. If I had Siege Gangs instead, I'd be in better shape. For sure. Just don't think I can win now if my opponent has anything good in their hand. It's one of my better draws. But here, I guess I was gonna say, I guess I could have just damned Direfleet Daredevil to play around Gearhulk, but I think I'm better off just hoping the blue-white deck runs out of resources and like start jamming spells every turn. I'm gonna just keep these lands in case I can loot them away eventually. I want to be able to play 6 because, or 7, because then I can actually play a God-Pharaoh's Gift, and we drew one. Not the greatest here, but if we high roll on the Rowdy Crew, it's actually pretty awesome. So hopefully we can discard 2 lands or 2 creatures. We missed, but we got a Celebrant. So honestly, it was actually good, even though we can't attack this turn. I can actually, before combat, play a Daredevil on Disallow. Oh, no, I have to do it right away. No, this turn. Okay. So that's kind of funny. But the Dawnbringer is definitely a problem. I can just get the Walking Ballista back, though, and start cranking it up. It's like a really slow process, but I can attack for 6 with the Ballista and just not worry about the Celebrant. If opponent draws a draw spell, I have the Direfleet Daredevil to kind of get going myself. I'm just gonna pump it twice. Like, I'm not bluffing anything out of my mono red deck. If he's got nothing, we're gonna get him to 7 life, and like even if he draws a cast out to kill the God-Pharaoh's Gift, like I think Walking Ballista is gonna win me the game because he just has to chump it next turn. Yeah, nice. All right. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that we probably want Siege Gang. God, he's got that stupid angel, doesn't he? Can't really beat that. I guess I have Hazoret, and just like I did beat it that game, but he had nothing else. Yeah, I think we don't want Daredevil. That was a mistake. So let's put the Siege Gangs back in. Also, considering that their removal, they settle the wreckage and give us mountains, it makes Siege Gang a little bit better. I wonder what the worst card is. Like, Firebrand is bad, but it's kind of part of our nut draw. And I don't like boarding out so many goblins. I'm not sure if my deck actually works. I think the plan is, like that game, is to play a gate, have them overcommit to kill the gate, and then, like, beat them with a gift or a Chandra or something. So maybe cutting another Firebrand is fine. I really want to play Daredevil, but it's just so bad. They can even, like, end of turn Glimmer. Then you can't even tag their Glimmer anymore. Because they can then, like, Gearhulk at the next turn, assuming they have 6 mana. Okay, opponent's on 7 this time. Leads on an island. You don't really see that very often. Okay, well, we have a... Bomat's a real threat. Every game a mono red deck draws Bomat against blue-white, the game is just completely different. Because it's just a threat they're absolutely forced to deal with. Or it's going to win the red player of the game. Even though I'm not a burn deck, it's just like not only dealing them damage, but it's threatening drawing cards. Okay, Prospector. Gonna need to draw lands. If I can rip a mountain, I'm in pretty great shape. He doesn't have a seal away. That's awesome, actually. He doesn't have a second blue either. That's interesting. So we could jam a Chandra here post-combat. Sure, I think that's probably right. Smoosh. Seal away now. Oh, Forsake. Okay. Yeah. I could, funny enough, I could play Chandra and Gate, but I need these Skirk Prospectors in play when I resolve the Gate. There is a world where playing Gate here is right, just because I don't lose the Prospector, but I feel as if, like, if he doesn't have a cast out, or, like, the 4th land, the Chandra is going to start getting me value. Also, I can maybe start hard casting God-Pharaoh's Gift. Potentially. So since this is an actual factual mana ability, I believe I can use it in the resolution of Chandra. Which is nice. So we should attack first. Or should we just make mana, honestly? Also, is 1 damage worth the potential seal away? Like losing to seal away? Probably. I think if he had a seal away, or seal fate, sorry, he would have used it on the Bomat instead of using this, so that he'd have an out to Gate. So let's just make mana. Play the Rowdy Crew. I'm going to resolve this. Hopefully we can discard Chandra or Gate. Oh, we discarded both, so that's actually a pretty solid outcome. I can definitely just play the other Prospector, even if he does have a... I was going to say Fumigate. What is the Wrath? It's been so long since I played Standard, I can't even think of what the Wrath is. It is Fumigate, isn't it? Even if he has a Fumigate, we have a Chandra that's just ticking up. So, discarding the other Chandra, I mind a little bit more than the other Git, because this Chandra's probably going to win me the game. So having a backup is nice, but if he just doesn't have an answer, it's obviously good for me too. So I think I'm just going to put the Plains in his hand. He hasn't missed a land drop. So the Glimmer is exiled. Wait, why does it say... Oh, this is revealed cards. This is exiled cards. So the Glimmer is exiled. I love that counter. It's just like a #1. Instead of a silver counter. I don't really know what that means, but... So... I've got 2 creatures in hand. Right. So I can actually God-Pharaoh Gates the Afterlife and crack it here. And I can get the Celebrant back. I might actually be able to kill him this turn. Probably not. Because I get the Celebrant back. The Celebrant plus the Rowdy Crew, that's 14 damage. I think this is just lethal. This deck is kind of insane sometimes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is lethal. But let's go through this step by step here. Play the Gate. Sack this to itself. Loot. Put away a Combat Celebrant. We drew a land, which is, I guess, nice. Doesn't really matter, actually. So that's 3 creatures. Oh, are we going to be short a creature? Yeah. I needed to, oh, this was kind of stupid. I actually think I messed up here. Because I can't quite get to 6 creatures for some reason, and I didn't anticipate that, so I'm just kind of spewing right now. Sack the Goblin to itself. If I draw a Walking Ballista or a Skirk Prospector, I can get there. So I think the right play... Oh, actually, I can play Rowdy Crew. That could put more creatures in my graveyard, can't it? But I can't play Rowdy Crew and activate the gate, unfortunately. That's pretty stupid. Oh, this is not going well. So what is my best play? I can just kill Karn. Oh, let me get my graveyard again. Probably shouldn't have sacked that Skirk Prospector. I should have just attacked the Karn. So it does suck to suck. I don't know why I thought I could do that. So I guess we just exile the top card of our deck. If it's an out, if it's a Walking Ballista or a Skirk Prospector or a Fanatical Firebrand, we just win. If not, we just redirect to Karn and set up for next turn. I don't think that's terrible. I definitely don't think it's great. Our other play is to make mana and play the Rowdy Crew, which really doesn't do anything, does it? It does get me more creatures in my graveyard. Like, we're pretty wide on threats. That's the thing. Like, we have a Chandra that's on 7 he has to deal with, and we have a gate that he has to deal with. So I think as long as we blow up his Planeswalker... I wonder if I'm supposed to actually ignore his Planeswalker. It's getting really complicated. I do have, like, 10 outs in my deck, though, to just win. So let's just see what's there. See if we have the win. Which we might just have. We don't. Oh. Oh, this doesn't deal damage to Planeswalkers anymore. Wow, that's super interesting. Because it's each opponent? Interesting. Did it give me the option? I don't think it did. This is why it's important to actually play when they make rules changes. So I guess we just go face. I mean... I'm very... If he's got, like, Karn's Temporal Mastery, like... Oh, this is... We're gonna lose horribly, probably. Basically, we just messed up. If we had a... If we post... We should have this Combat Celebrant in play. The way I would have done it was deal him 1 more damage, and then get the Combat Celebrant in play. The other problem is he might just have Settle the Wreckage mana up now, so we can't actually kill him in combat. Maybe if we found, like, a Siege Gang, we could get it done. But if he doesn't hit a cast out, then we just ultimate our Chandra. Like, if he disallows... Well, I guess if he disallows... See what we draw. Really just wish we had the Celebrant in play, because we could force lethal. And then emblem the Chandra. What's interesting is, like, I could just play the Rowdy Crew. Maybe I do that first. See if it resolves. Should I play... I actually want to discard creatures, so I think I should play this land out. If I discard a single creature, then I can do the thing. So what we're going to do is Rowdy Crew, hope to discard a creature. Then... We discarded 2 creatures. So now we can emblem the Chandra. If he disallows it, we just crack the gate and win. Right? Easy game. So he's pretty much just dead if he's got a disallow, because then he taps below Settle the Wreckage mana. I believe. Sure. I guess if he has Blink, he can blink the gate or Forsake. I suppose. But, I mean, if he's got it all, he's got it all, right? I've already played a land this turn. I have 6 creatures, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I suppose we actually might lose if he's got another Forsake. 2 Forsakes and the Disallow. I mean, I don't think we're getting a better spot than this because he's just going to have 7 mana next turn, which means he can have Settle and Disallow. So, yeah, we win. Cool. Got worried for a second, but realistically, we have to make that play regardless, and I think we're pretty favored to win there, so even though we're like kind of spewing our Chandra potentially by not upping it first. All right, we battled back. All right, back for another round with Gift. Ooh, we're playing against Eric Rowe, buddy of mine. Let's smoosh him. We'll play our Goblin-themed mountain, and he'll know what's up. So this hand doesn't have any combo pieces, but I do have Bomat into Ballista into Chainwhirler, which is pretty good against a lot of decks in Standard. Not sure if it's good against like a Constrictor-like deck, but we'll attack with Bomat. He might have a Fatal Push. We've got Glintsleeve Siphoner covered in many levels. Even if, hopefully, like, he tries to play one at one point, we can blow him out. If he plays a Constrictor, we could be in trouble. I don't really have an answer to it. Gifted Etherborn. Yeah, that's fine. It's obviously good, but it's not really the end of the world. So we'll play the First Striker, so he can't really attack unless he kills this, and it's pretty hard for a black deck to kill this. Conveniently. So I think we need to draw a land to kind of do anything relevant. Well, I guess that's kind of relevant. So I'm pretty sure the play actually is to attack with Chainwhirler now. Oh, I should have. Well, I was gonna say I should have played my gate first. I don't think that's gonna actually change much, but he's got a cast down. He would have just done it in response. Sure. So we actually can trigger the gate next turn, but we don't have a Combat Celebrant. Basically, we can trigger it by just like sacking the Bomat. So depending on what we draw, we could have an interesting turn. Looks like we're playing against the mono black deck. I don't really know what's going to be in my opponent's deck, really. Said really twice in one sentence. Shouldn't do that again. It's funny because I spent a lot of time looking at standard deck lists, and even against the blue-white guy, I wasn't really sure exactly what he was going to have. And now this deck. He just said in chat that I think he needs to pay me for fantasy football. He's probably right. Like, basically, we have 6 creatures. If he's just straight, the problem is he might not be mono black. He might be like black-red mid-range or something. It's kind of hard to go all in on the gate. If we draw a creature, we can sack the Bomat and leave the Ballista in play. Not that that's necessarily good, but once we get our 4th land, could get interesting. Also, if we draw a land, it's probably just going to be right to play the Rowdy Crew. I could block Ping, but this Ballista might actually be a threat. Like, if he's got a Glintsleeve Siphoner or something, I'm holding it back. If he's playing mono black with Gifted Etherborn, like, ooh, that's a good play. I was going to say, if you play mono black, you place 4 Siphoners before you play any Gifted Etherborns, so, like, I have to figure he has that. Just thinking about whether I want to ping it. Like, if I ping it, then I'm pretty much guaranteed the gift get my gate next turn. Because that's 4 creatures, and then I can play Walking Ballista for 0. Whereas if I don't ping it, what happens? I can't necessarily do it, so I guess I do this. Hopefully we draw a Combat Celebrant. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's probably going to be good enough. Let's loot. Prospector. That's a good one. We can just hardcast that, I think. So what monsters do we want? We want a Siege Gang, probably, just for value, because we've got the Prospector to get mana, so let's pitch the Siege Gang. So, I don't think the mono black deck is going to have an out. So I think I actually want to play the Skirk Prospector pre-combat. That way I don't discard it to Rowdy Crew. Oh, he scoops. Alright. Sweet. So mono black. I'm pretty sure that this is the time that we want Chandras and Glorybringers. It's kind of bizarre, though, because I imagine that they're going to be... They don't normally have Dispossess. So, like, the gift plan is actually good against them, but... I can't imagine that, like, Chandra and Glorybringer aren't good against them. Especially if he's forced to, like, Vraska's Contempt my Bomats. Crap like that. I'm kind of in a tough spot because I feel like if I'm going for the Chandra Glorybringer plan, I also want the Daredevils. But I think Daredevil is just too slow. I think this is like only for like red deck against red decks to be a solid blocker and win like a Braid Wars and Mirrors. To have more braids in your deck, basically. So I'm not going to bring it in here. So what do we want to cut? We're going pretty big. I actually think that Hazoret might not be good. Like, I want my threats to hit hard or let me get cards in the graveyard quickly, because if I just get a gate off, that's pretty good. And this doesn't help me with the gate plan, and the mono black deck doesn't have a Braid or Cast Out or Confiscation Coup or anything, so like this kind of card is, while it's good against the black deck in general, I think that because he's mono black, we know he's got no answers to gate, and this just doesn't help us with our gate draws. Hopefully that makes sense. I think Chainwhirler is probably pretty weak. But I do want to... It is good against Etherborn and... Glintsleeve Siphoner. So I probably have to cut some more fat. Like a Siege Gang. And we can cut a Chainwhirler and 2 Firebrands. I think that's fine. I think cutting Firebrand when I go big makes sense. It's just... It feels really weird to have, like, Glorybringers, Chandras, and Firebrands in my deck at the same time. Even though the Firebrands, like, help my deck work. Okay, this is a really good draw if we just keep drawing lands. Okay, no Fatal Push, that's good. Siphon, or the Etherborn could be annoying. It's kind of weird because as much as, like, it's... I want to board in a Braid, obviously, to deal with this, but I think I've got bigger fish to fry by having, like, Chandras and Glorybringers, and I can't fit that all in and combo. It's just, like, a very unique situation where the mono black deck has no gate interaction, so, like, you're almost forced to leave in more combo pieces. Okay, he's attacking, so he might have another one. Oh, that would be pretty annoying, actually. He's got a Dread Shade, okay. That's a little bit less annoying. I can slog through that. We have a gate online. Can Chandra the Dreadshade next turn if he taps down low, and then chump block whatever else. taking a lot of damage. But since he's mono black, I'm not really that worried about his potential to, like, just overrun me. Because if I draw a land, I've got Glorybringer, and if I don't draw a land, then I've got, like, whatever I draw, I can play, pretty much. Oh, that duress really hurts. The timing wasn't even good on that, because I already resolved Gate. But now I'm actually really risking just getting beaten down. Though, if I draw a creature, I can actually get to 6 cards in my graveyard. And start reanimating Glorybringers. So, wondering if that will work out. Is this the one that gives... No, I was going to say. I thought for a second that was the one that gave black mana. Another Chandra would be sweet. If I drew a creature, I could have, like, could go YOLO, but since I didn't, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I think I should start stacking my Bomat. Even though this is like a ton of damage coming across. I'm not going to pump my Ballista. I mean, like, the 1 damage is mostly irrelevant. Oh, feels like he has a Fatal Push. This might not end well for me. Nope. I wonder if I'm supposed to block the Shade or the Etherborn. I think I'm going to block the Shade. Like, I think 2 life is mostly irrelevant at this point. Whereas, he could just have pump 5 times. I don't think that's a winning play for him, but... Because I guess he knows I have 2 Glorybringers, so he probably is going to leave at least 2 mana up. So I guess there is a world where... I really want to pitch a Glorybringer, but... I think I might actually be able to win by raining Glorybringers down on him. The reason I want to pitch a Glorybringer is just to get closer to being able to gate. But, like, I only have 1 creature in the graveyard right now. Liliana, okay. Well, unfortunately, I can't actually kill that, but... So I have to just Glorybringer the Dreadshade. Guess I attack Liliana so he can't reanimate. Oh! Misclick. Okay. Well, now I might just die to a removal spell. Huh. Gross. It's been a while since I did that. I've been playing too much MTG Arena, I guess. I have to block the Shade, right? That's so stupid. Ugh. Yeah, this is a slippery slope of mistakes, but I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't do it. Okay. I guess I can kill the Chandra now, maybe. Okay, yeah. You can pump the Shade too much. I could double exert on it. And kill this, but... If this was dead, actually, I might be able to win this game. Because then I could just play another Glorybringer and kill this. Kill Liliana. He can get something back end of turn, but... Still have a winning line. That's pretty gross. Oh well. I think I probably still would have lost. But maybe the top deck gift would be enough. I wouldn't have anything in my graveyard, but... I wonder if I do want to braid. Haven't seen Fatal Push. A Braid kills Shade, sort of, like, but I have Glory Bringers. I think I'll almost do a better job of it. The Etherborn is, like, kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. I have the Chandras to kill them, too. I just can't side out that many creatures. Like, that game, I really had trouble getting enough creatures in my graveyard. Since he's got Sentinel Totem, I wonder if I can beat him. I wonder if I should, like, board out a gift in this matchup, because I don't... I guess he can exile it with the... He can duress it and then exile it with Sentinel Totem. So I actually have to leave 2 in. I'm going to try this one. I guess it's pretty weak to duress. But I just think that this plan... It's like... I got duress to break up my curve, but this plan didn't seem bad against him, and... If he's got a lot of removal in his opener, then this is kind of like a trump. I guess if it's a bunch of Vraska Contempts, maybe not, but... I've got a lot of cards to draw, obviously. And I've got a guaranteed turn 4 Chandra. If he had a Duress, I'm not sure if he would fire it off or wait. But he probably would fire it before my gate turn, so... Hopefully we can draw a 3-drop to play, or even like a 1 or 2 drop. Any spell would be good. The Siege Gang is really bad. I was gonna say a land is actually fine, but Siege Gang is pretty atrocious. He might destroy target non-legend. No. Kind of hoping for a Shade here, or a Siphoner, or whatever. This guy. Sure. Okay, we drew the 5th land. It was going to be pretty awkward if we never got to the 5th land. Let's just blast that. And then attack. Yeah, I'm pretty confident the Dire Fleet is just bad. So this doesn't actually add mana yet. Okay, he gets to kill both my guys, but I get to play a Siege Gang. It's obviously the ideal card for him, but I've got Siege Gang and a Glorybringer against the mono black deck. I think that's going to be good enough most of the time. Like if he ever plays a creature, he just gets punished. I guess if he draws, he actually might have what is it called? Destroy target non-legendary creature. I forget what it's called, but I mean, if he has like multiple of that card and can play it with backup, that would be problematic. The thing is, I've got a pretty decent clock on him. He might have to... Okay, Golden Demise, sure. It's fine. I am slowly building up creatures in my graveyard. Like, the longer this matchup goes, we kind of know he's got Sentinel Totem. Should I play another land? I'm actually not going to. I could draw a gate, but I can always wait. Basically, like, the longer this matchup goes, if I get enough creatures into my graveyard, then any gate or Gift of the Afterlife is just going to win me the game. Okay, well, there's a Sentinel Totem, so that's not true anymore. But, like, he has to use a card to play this. So, basically, now my chances of winning went down a lot, actually, because now I can't. But I can still just draw a gate. Like, a gate is still good. Or, sorry, a gift. I'm sorry, I keep getting those confused. A gift is still good. Gate is fine. Gate, like, lets me loot or whatever. I'm assuming he has a Doomblade here. But even so, he's going to 9 life. I kind of want to keep these in hand in case I draw the Rowdy Crew. I can obviously draw a gate, but he can... Oh, he just took it? Wow. Huh. This is a 0 to play, right? Yeah, just gonna hold the lands in case we draw Rowdy Crew or Gate. Does he have Bontu's Last Reckoning? No. So I just have lethal? Because I think he would have cast that last turn if he had it. He says GG. Nice. That's kind of what happens. That's why keeping this kind of hand is good, right? Because, like, if he's boarding in Sentinel Totem, and I can just play Chandra into Glorybringer, it's usually pretty good. Okay. This is the problem with this deck. We're on the draw. Like, the Hazoret is just a huge brick because we're going to have so many cards in our hand. Though we can play a Rowdy Crew to get some action. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm going to try it. If he's a creature deck, then the Chainwhirler might be good. If he's a control deck, he might counter everything we play, but looks like we're playing against a creature deck. Hopefully we can draw into a Ballista, or even a Prospector would be good. Looks like we're playing against a mono black deck again. Oh no, he might be black-red. Probably going to take a beating here because of our loose hand. Okay. We're going to be able to Chainwhirler him here. Which is kind of why I was okay with this hand. Like I said, it was pretty good against aggro. If he's got a Fatal Push, it's not amazing. But if he doesn't, then it's pretty awkward for him. I'm hoping he doesn't have a Fatal Push. Then he can't attack. Okay, he has got a Fatal Push. It's fine. We're going to curve out Rowdy Crew into Siege Gang. Not sure if it's going to be enough, because now this Harvester's going to be problematic. Didn't get there on having a big guy. He kills it anyway. Hopefully he doesn't have another creature. Oh, the Bone Picker. Wow, all these mono black decks. Wasn't aware this deck was a deck. I think I'm actually just dead on board. There's nothing I can do here. Unless I can pull a kill out of my hat. Or out of my... Well, I could maybe kill him. It's not that likely, but we're going to try. I guess we do gain some life, actually. I didn't think about the life gain here. The life gain might pull us out. Ooh, another Prospector? Well, that's gravy. We really need to find a Combat Celebrant. Yeah. We just need a Combat Celebrant. And then we're in much better shape. Rowdy Crew. I guess I could get back a Skirk Prospector. Gain even more life. Does a Combat Celebrant even do anything? Like, if we don't draw 2 Combat Celebrants, it doesn't do anything? I guess I can just block with the Prospector and go to 7 life. And maybe win, actually. I want the Rowdy Crew or the Hazoret. The Hazoret just is not going to be good, right? The only thing with the Hazoret is it has haste. So yeah, maybe we pitch the Rowdy Crew. Basically, if we untap, we can gain a decent amount of life. We can gain a decent amount of life. If we... Oh, but we don't have another... We lose the gate. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? So basically, I need him... I still need to find a Celebrant. What's the best way to do that? I think I need to keep the Bomat, honestly. I think I need to keep the Bomat and just return a Rowdy Crew. And, like, dig deep for Celebrant. The problem is, while Siege Gang can take out the Bone Picker, I can't kill this stupid Harvester. Okay, we found a Celebrant. Huh, I wonder if it's worth attacking now. Like, then I'm dead to any creature, but he's going to be at 24. Can I do that much in one turn? Celebrant. And then a Siege Gang. Siege Gang, I have 6 open mana. I should be able to kill him, right? If he's at 24, I attack for 10. Then I get Siege Gang, which attacks for 10 more, puts him to 4, and then I have sacrifices. So I actually should not attack with the Rowdy Crew. I should have lethal without it. I believe. Obviously, if he's got a Fatal Push or whatever, I'm dead. But if not, we should be able to kill him. Oh, supernatural stamina. Ugh. Yep, that gets me. Alright, we know what we're up against now. So I think I want... I wonder if I want Magma Spray or a Braid. I'm pretty sure that Magma Spray is just so much more efficient, but a Braid does kill that Harvester, which is a little annoying. This also removes Scrounger, removes Dreadwander. I think I pretty much have to play this. Don't know if we want Hazoret. Don't think this is the matchup for it. Honestly, I think Rowdy Crew is a little slow. So I think I should cut that too. It's just such a good part of my engine. Hazoret just seems bad, right? Just was so bad that game. Couldn't interact at all. Don't want to sacrifice. Don't want to cut any combo stuff. Don't want to cut Ballista. Don't think I want to cut Ballista. Kills like Night. I imagine that he sides out like Night Market, Lookout, and Dreadwander and stuff. The Abrade is super enticing, honestly. Let's do one Abrade. I think I can actually cut down on, like, Fanatical Firebrand, because I've got other stuff that does it, and he's going to side out X1s, pretty sure. I think I'd rather just have Abrade than Fanatical Firebrand. Obviously, this can help me combo, but I think Abrade can just kill a bigger thing, like a Heart of Kirin or a Ether Harvester. Actually, I don't know if he plays Heart of Kirin after seeing what creatures. Since he's got Bone Picker, actually, that's kind of a tell that he probably has Heart of Kirin. This is not a great hand, but it has a gate. Has a Magma Spray for disruption. Actually, just going to go to my turn. Probably just going to Magma Spray that, but save myself life. I feel like gate gives me a lot of inevitability. He could Fatal Push his own guy. I'm fine with that. Get a little punished by Scrounger, but I do want my life total to stay relatively high. Vicious Conquistador. Okay, he's that deck. Ooh, these are... Actually, I was going to play the gate, but since I have double Celebrant, I'm just going to play the Celebrant. Because if I play another Celebrant, I can, like, attack for... I don't even know. That's 16, right? Just with Celebrants. Ooh, Chainwhirler. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play the Chainwhirler just because it's such a good blocker. This actually is lethal, the 2 Celebrants. Wait, is this just infinite? Am I stupid? I mean, he can block. I played the blue-red gift deck, though, and I didn't think it was. Sorry, it's been a while, so if this is painful to watch. So you attack with both. You exert one, the other untaps. You exert the other. I guess they can just block it. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Chainwhirler. It's just such a sick blocker. Like, he doesn't really have anything that kills this outside. I guess they have Cast Down. I keep forgetting about Cast Down. It actually is really good against our deck. But he's got the Dread Shade. Maybe shouldn't have played that land, because I might want to loot it away. But I'm actually gonna just play the gate, because I feel like this is the turn when he can kind of start attacking me with the Dread Shade and maybe more stuff, and I want to be able to, if he's got like removal spell for your Chainwhirler, even if it's Wrath's Contempt, I would like to be able to block with this on the Dread Shade and then loot and draw into action. Oh, he's got a Braid? That's so stupid. He's literally splashing that off Ether Hubs in his mono black deck. It is just a bad thing to do. It's just never a good thing to do. Okay, we take it. Okay. Draw? Not the best. I think I have to play out this land in case I draw a gate. Can't attack, right? No, I need this on D. Okay, so we might have a Fatal Push here. 6. It's only 12 damage. Huh. So if I don't turn on his Fatal Push... I really wish I knew more about Combat Celebrant. If you exert 2 of them after this combat phase or just in a combat phase, that definitely stacks, right? Yeah, whatever. Okay. I guess it stacks, but the problem is all your creatures are untapped. That's the trick. But I think I'm just gonna go for lethal this next turn. Okay, that is super gross. And he's got a Fatal Push, so there's no way I can do lethal, and I drew a land. Yeah, I'm just dead now. That was pretty annoying. I mean, maybe he doesn't have a Fatal Push. The problem is I just don't even have lethal, right? Yeah, whatever. Like, I get an extra combat, but he gets the block. He gets the block 1. He gets the block, so I can only exert 1 more time. Okay. And I'm just dead to him blocking again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have kept that hand. It's definitely possible I shouldn't have kept that hand. I mean, it seemed fine. It had a gate, which I figured he couldn't interact with. So I'll give it to him that he gets to abrade me. And he'll continue to have a braid in his deck. So, good beats. Alright, let's see if we can redeem ourselves after getting slain by the mono reds. Next turn. Ooh, blue-black deck. I actually don't have an answer to Siphoner in this hand. Just a little unfortunate. Oh, looks like he might be blue-black control, though. So that's fine. I think if that's the case, we want to just jam gate. Get it down before they can interact. He might not be blue-black control, but Field of Ruin, Drowned Catacombs is pretty much always going to be that. If he has a Censor... Oh, he's got a Cast Down. It's a good play, actually. But it's fine. I mean, if I resolve the gate, like... He might play some Blinks, but if he doesn't have one, then we're good to go. I can just start jamming threats. Even if he counters them, they go to my graveyard. I'm just going to jam the crew. Force him to have a counter spell. It's possible that I want to do it into his Glimmer turn and play the Celebrant Prospector instead, and he can censor this. But I don't really mind, because there is a world where that just resolves. And in that world, like, I'm pretty much in insanely good shape, because he's going to have to use a removal spell on that, and I'll draw cards. Bomat's a pretty good draw, actually. Lets me have a good turn on his Glimmer turn. Also lets me, like, be able to get a gift whenever I want. Once it resolves, like, I can get a gift now. Should I? Like, I lose every time to blink. Even if he can just exile my Combat Celebrant, though. What's the problem with doing that? Like, if he just has a Fatal Push... Can this target his own lands? No. I mean, it'll be converted back to 0 anyway. I don't know why that doesn't really matter in this scenario. I wonder if I go for it. The thing is, I can just, like, these threats could just beat him. He's kind of forced to, like, deal with the Bomat and the Celebrant. So I think we just attack. This could be a mistake. The problem is, the fact that I just lose, to, like, I can beat a Blink with the Eye. Or Blink of an Eye. If I just hardcast stuff, maybe. Makes it a pretty loose play. And I probably can go off next turn, maybe. And like this now, basically I can go off and have a Celebrant in play already. So that seems much more ideal to me. Oh, he had a disallow. So he could have actually disallowed the gate trigger. So I'm glad I didn't go for that. Honestly, didn't even realize that he could do that. Oh, he's going to miss a land drop? This is perfect. Like, we can just keep playing threats, slowly build up to 6 creatures in our graveyard. Go for an attack here. Having only mountains is funny because it actually makes some of the 2-color decks mana base a lot worse because they just can never Field of Ruin. It's just a dead card. Let's play the Celebrant, see what happens. It's actually pretty nice because now I can just sack to get these 2 cards at any point. I'm just going to play the land to let me do that. Maybe that's loose because I have gate in play. and I can loot that into a real spell. Right now, I don't really need a real spell. I just need a window where I can turn my gate into a gift. And the Bomat is a pretty big threat. Like, if he doesn't kill it, I can just let it continue. What is he killing? That? It's possible. I should have probably kept the land, and I should have played the Prospector first. That way I didn't have to play the land, and I could have, like, kept that Siege Gang in my hand. So I kind of regret the way I played this. If I play the Prospector first, then I play the Celebrant, I don't have to play the land, and then I can just loot it away if he kills the Celebrant. Kind of worried about disallow, but there's not that much I can do. Oh, he's going to draw step, do something. Fatal push. Okay, we definitely cash it in. 2 cards is probably better than a Bomat. Oh, did I stack those triggers wrong? Or did I not have an option? I think I didn't have an option. So he may have a disallow. The problem is, once he's got 1 more mana, he can just Gear Hulk me. This would be a great turn for me to be able to cast that Siege Gang, so. He could also have a blink, but if he's got a blink, I can just play the gate next turn. Or play the gift, sorry, next turn, assuming he bounces it. Maybe I cycle through this other Prospector first. Try to get a better card. Just... I'd rather have this one and keep this one because it can attack for 1. Okay, we got a Chainwhirler, so that's better than nothing. I guess discarding the land means that Blink with AI is going to beat me, but... I think that he probably has a disallow, which means we're sad, but it's pretty hard for us to get out of that one. I really needed the Siege Gang this turn, because I think that is a threat that can beat him on his own, because normally the blue-black decks don't have sweepers, so we just misplayed the turn before. If we play a Siege Gang that turn, I'm pretty sure he has to disallow it. Okay, well, we ripped. Can only have so many counter spells. I suppose this is a reason why that play is fine. The problem, like I said, the problem is waiting means that Gear Hulk gives him disallow, so I just have to keep going for it. Wow, he cycled. Why did he cycle then? Why wouldn't he cycle? Why wouldn't he cycle in response to the gate itself? I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, he probably doesn't main deck like negate. So we got there. We got lucky. I think that we definitely missed sequence though. So that's a good thing to know. For the future, it's like, if you're going to be playing a Prospector, you should pretty much always just play it first because it gets the mana back. That's just a fundamental thing that I need to learn, obviously. So against blue-black, Direfleet might actually be okay. The reason I actually like Direfleet is, like, yeah, it's a crappy threat that you can't play till late game, but it can actually, like, you can use it to, like, Vraska's Contempt, a Gear Hulk, or a Scarab God, importantly. It's not that likely to happen, but it can also force action. Like, in those late game, in that late game when they have, like, 6 mana and they have, like, Glimmer in their graveyard or whatever, they might be forced to counter this, and then you can do something else. So, what? We were also boarding out this. I guess that was against blue-white, but I don't think I want Glorybringer. Board out 3 Chainwhirlers? I think... man, I don't want to board out too much combo. I guess I'm boarding in these 2-1s. I can play that as a 2-mana 2-1. if I have other action in my hand. I'm worried about my curve being too broken up. The thing is, the Chainwhirler just does nothing. I guess there's a world where they side in Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, but they know I have, like, Chainwhirler and Walking Ballista, so I don't think it's that likely. This is a hand where Wily Goblin would be great. Potentially. I guess against a control deck it's a little awkward, but with the Prospector, like, it basically is like 2 Lotus Petals. That also adds to my graveyard. Okay, he doesn't have a Search, I don't think. That's good. Any game where they don't have Search, like that last game, you know, it's kind of like, didn't really ever get to Gearhulk mana. Had to cast a counterspell like every turn or he was going to die. I'm in a weird spot where I can't really sack the Prospector here because he's just so likely to have a counterspell. I'd rather wait to, like, disrupt a Glimmer. Hopefully... Okay, that's a good draw. I'm gonna attack first. I was thinking about actually playing this in my first main phase because if he specifically has Fatal Push plus Censor, I can get punished if he just randomly decides to Fatal Push. He doesn't Fatal Push. He might have one, but I doubt it. This gives us some information. Like, he probably has a 3-mana counter in his hand. That's what it feels like. He's going to cycle Fetid Pools. Okay. If our gate gets online, that's a pretty big game. In a similar situation against the mono black decks, where we know that he can't kill gate, he's very likely to be able to bounce it. Which obviously isn't nearly as bad. So I think because I have the gate online, I actually start with the Rowdy Crew over the Chandra. The Chandra's a little bit more valuable, and if he had a negate, he would have used it here. So maybe playing the Chandra is better because there are less outs, because like Essence Scatter is an out. But like I said, I don't mind this because this just kind of fills up my graveyard, and also he's not playing a Glimmer. Chandra can also potentially double spell me at some point, so I'm definitely in a spot where I have the luxury of playing it a little bit slower with my good threats. Like, I'd rather not get my Chandra censored, for instance, if he's drawn that. Combat Celebrant. So I can Chandra and Celebrant here. How long do I want to wait on the Chandra? I could crew just kind of because I want to fill up my graveyard. If he's got a Torrential Gearhulk, then he can Gearhulk Scatter it next turn. If he's got a Disallow, he can hit the Chandra. It's not the end of the world, but like it's not contributing to my graveyard. That's the problem. Because I have the Prospector in play, I could, like, potentially draw Ballista and just be at 6 creatures. Which is kind of why I want to play a creature to get it countered, because then I have 2, which means any, like, creature I can play and sack gets me to 4 and then to 6. But also, like, there's a non-zero chance that he just doesn't have a counterspell, and I can go Chandra and Combat Celebrant. He could have Vraska's Contempt, which would mean that I don't really know what my best play is. It's kind of awkward because if the Rowdy Crew discards my Chandra, that's not great for me. It's not that likely. It's not that likely to be that bad for me. So let's just play the Chandra. Also, we're getting to the point where he can just maybe kill my Chandra with a Gearhulk. So I actually want to start getting it. If I do get it rolling, I want it to be like so it has enough loyalty to survive. So like now, if he's got a Gearhulk next turn somehow, I'm assuming he's got a Contempt. But if he does have a Gearhulk, then it'll be on 6 loyalty, hopefully, so we don't just immediately die to it. It's just like a tiny optimization. Like, imagine we play a Rowdy Crew, right? So just like explain that what that means. Like, if I played a Rowdy Crew and he Vraska's Contempt it, then next turn I play the Chandra and he goes like Torrential Gear Hulk, Vrass's Contempt like your only blocker, attack with the Gear Hulk, then the Chandra just dies. So this is definitely like the ideal sequence, assuming it's going to resolve. And it's possible he actually has a counterspell, but just elected to use the Vrass's Contempt instead. Because we drew the Celebrant, though, it was definitely the Chandra play was probably right. Okay. Smells like a Gear Hulk. It's not really that much I can do. I guess I can just cast... What would I rather have countered? I think the Siege Gang, honestly. Let him counter the Siege Gang if he wants to. It's definitely a Gear Hulk. I think that the reasoning behind this is either spell is likely to be countered or both may be countered, but resolving the Rowdy Crew will get me close to gating him, which, like, now that he's got a Gear Hulk, feels like I'm under a decent amount of pressure. I'm under a reasonable amount of pressure, rather. I could try to spike a Prospector or a Gear Hulk here, actually. Or a Ballista. If I draw either of those, I can go off, assuming I loot into a creature, which I guess isn't that likely, that both me drawing into a Prospector or Ballista and me looting a creature. Not that likely, huh? 3, 4. So I think we just pass. I'm just torturing over whether I should play this land. I think the answer is no. The reason I want to do that is if he's got a disallow, which he might have, I really want to just get that gate into play so this can't get disallowed. The control matchups just seem so tough. Okay, well, he's got that too. It's obviously a problem. Maybe I can force him to bust it. If he's got a counterspell for this, then we're pretty dead. I pretty much have to, like, make him bust it this turn. Commit. Oh, I'm so dead, huh? Well, he could flood out, I suppose. I think I'm just gonna pass. Definitely playing the land, in case he memories. The Crook. Being robbed. It's possible I'm supposed to board in a braid, but, like, it just doesn't seem that effective against this. Just have to hope for greener pastures next game. He's not memorying. Okay. Well, I definitely have to not do nothing this turn, so I'm going to go for the Rowdy Crew. If that resolves, then I can maybe pitch some lands, draw some action, make a 5/5. If everything's going great. This isn't even really that good, but... Okay, Illumination. Let's see what we're left with. Oh, wow. So I can actually force him to bust the Crook, potentially. Crook is so annoying. So I've got 2 shots to loot into a creature. The problem is he can just pay 1. But if I loot into 2 creatures, I force him to pop it. So I think that's what I should do. Well, I could just play a Ballista next turn. He just... like a big Ballista for 3, so I can attack. Is that... I don't think that's going to win me the game, though. I'm not that likely to loot into 2 creatures, either. This is just a mess. If he, like, drew into 2 lands, I might win. That doesn't seem that likely, either. And he has the memory. Just really not able to win this, huh? Loot into a creature. If I just don't even loot into a creature. 2 creatures. Yeah, we just wait. It's just a terrible line. Both plays are terrible. I have to hit creature. Because I need to get to 7 with this in play. And if I wait, like, he's just going to start drawing more cards. Playing a Glimmer. Yeah. I guess that's a reason that I should just go for it. Because if he's got a Glimmer or a Hieroglyph of Illumination, at least it uses his mana. Oh, actually, I didn't have to loot into 2 creatures because he would have been forced. He would have been forced to exile all because the Skirk as a cost goes into the graveyard. Maybe I could have tricked him, honestly. Could play this for 0 first. I don't know. I'm kind of just not playing too tight at this point. Don't really think I can win. I think tricking him probably was right. Like, I play the Ballista for 0. I try to loot into a creature. If I loot into a creature, then I just sack the Prospector. He has to tap that first. He probably would have tapped that first, though. Oh, I got there, though. I've discarded 2 creatures, so actually I get to do this. If he's got a disallow, it just doesn't work, obviously, but, you know, I have to try it. Another Illumination. He can exile my graveyard, but I have Bomat. So I might Mise? Look how the foil one's always on top. Okay. So he's forced to pop the Crook or play Blink with an Eye. I think I might actually have lethal. If I win this game, I just can't believe it. Okay. Sack the Bomat. Get that back. Oh, if he has Fatal Push, though, he kills this? He doesn't? I think I just win. What just happened? Oh, this can't attack this turn. Oh, there's the trick. There is the trick. So, do I attack with the Bomat? He gets to block it, like, for free. I think I attack with just these 2 for the first attack. Because if he blocks them, then I get it again. If I attack with the Bomat, he just blocks the Bomat. Takes 4, 5, 6, 7. On my next attack, I can't reanimate anything. Well, if I attack with the Bomat, he blocks the Bomat. Takes 11. Now, the Bomat's just a free block. So, we just don't attack with it the first time. See what he does. If he then blocks, I can attack with the damage on his guy, but then I just get to return it next combat. So, he shouldn't block. And the next combat, we just pass turn, I think. Because we want to be able to sack the Bomat, potentially, to discard something. Maybe my mistake was... Well, actually, I don't mind just putting the Rowdy Crew in my graveyard, right? Is that terrible? I think it's pretty terrible. Just losing a 3/3. Yeah. I think having a wide board is pretty good here. So, do I play that so I can loot? Maybe. I think I just pass. This feels so weird. No, I just play this. See what he does. I think I just wait, because as soon as my Combat Celebrant's up, that's just gonna be game. Like, he's forced to do something. Attacking doesn't seem that productive. I just have to assume that he can deal with this. I could attack with both the Rowdy Crews. Maybe my mistake was not attacking with the Rowdy Crew last turn, but I just have to assume that he can deal with the gift. Because if he doesn't, I think I'm just going to win. Vraska's Contempt on that. Okay. It's obviously not good for me, but... Okay. Oh, I don't loot off this. That's right, because it's a token. Maybe I should have left it in my hand. Search. Okay, he's only got 2 cards in his graveyard. Scarab God. Why did he play the search? Whatever. I think I'm dead now. I think I probably could have been more aggressive. Because now I'm just dead. Which kind of sucks. Yeah. So I should have just attacked with the crew. Like, attacked with every... Well, maybe not the Bomat, but attack with the crew. Last turn, like, get it in the graveyard. Maybe I win the flip, so it becomes a 6/6. Now I'm just super, super dead. Don't really think there's anything I can do. There's a Chandra on top. I don't think that does anything. I guess I had Daredevil wasn't out, which I didn't realize, but... I think we just run it back. I don't want to braid. Seems like it would be good in the one scenario where the Gearhulk's holding us back. Yeah. Played that game badly, I guess. I think that if I played super tight... The problem is... That happens a lot when you play against a control deck, and like it might look like I played really bad, and I honestly might have, but there are situations, they put you in tough situations where like they can have multiple different things and you're not sure what they have. Like if he had a blink with the eye, like I like my play, but if he didn't, it's obviously I didn't play well. I kind of just assumed that if he... I kind of assumed if he ended up going and drawing like 6 cards over 2 turns, that he would just have more action and ability to kill my stuff. I mean, he had multiple Vrask Contempts, so I suppose it's entirely reasonable. He just wouldn't have died anyway. Just the Rowdy Crew, if I went to the graveyard, if I won the flip on the Rowdy Crew, I would have had a 6/6 and could have just attacked through Gearhulk. I'm just going to slam everything. It's not really any other play that I have. Try to overwhelm him. If he doesn't have a negate or a censor, I haven't actually seen censor to these control decks. It's possible people don't play them. Okay. I wonder if the play is to attack first. That way they take more damage. Most of the time. Probably should always attack first. It's pretty much always right in most of those situations against control decks. Unfortunately, I won't be hellbent next turn. I'm actually hoping he counters this. Well, I'm not hoping he counters it, but I wouldn't... It's not the end of the world if he does. Going up to 2 cards in my graveyard. But, like, I might not have been able to attack with it for a few turns anyway. Okay, we can Siege Gang into Glimmer. Kind of flooding out. Okay. If he wants to kill the Siege Gang, then I get to loot. I can even sack the Siege Gang to loot, potentially. Having 2 lands in hand is clearly not ideal, but it is what it is. He can't Vraska's Contempt this turn, so that's nice. Fatal Push 1. Okay. Okay, I mean, we're not gating this game, I don't think, anyway. What do we really want to draw here? I mean, I guess our best draw is like a Chandra. Or another Siege Gang can be good. Okay. God-Pharaoh's Gift getting exiled. That is super awkward, actually. It means that if we just randomly exile the other one, we get screwed, but it's not that unlikely we exile both, and we can still win if we do. I mean, a Gearhulk here would be bad. I'm assuming he's got a Vraska's Contempt. He just didn't have 2 black sources. So he might fire it off, maybe not. I think I actually... why'd I have to draw that card? I was going to say I could play my 7th land in case I hit the other gift. I'm just going to assume that I don't. 1 in 46 chance. It's like so low. And even if I do, it's not the end of the world. It's obviously super awkward, but... Okay, definitely just going to cast another Siege Gang. Don't think my opponent has sweepers. Might have a Golden Demise. He disallows that. I actually don't mind that disallow, because it means that opponent is off of Gearhulk mana this turn. Probably just didn't have one. He would have Gearhulked the disallow and put pressure on my Chandra. But we're pushing a decent amount of buttons here. Like, I've got a gate in play, which is kind of irrelevant because of the Crook, but I've got Siege Gang that if he takes it again, he's just going to get burned out next turn, and I've got Chandra also dealing him damage, so... Can we get there? Fatal Push on a token. I mean, we're going to sack it. Puts him to 7. I guess I can F6 now. Another one. Okay, I mean, he is successfully gaining, like, it's actually pretty good that he's not dying, but the fact that these are fatal pushes and not more relevant spells is pretty good here. Maybe I should have sided in a few braids. Seeing how this matchup plays out, feels right. I'm very unlikely to use this mana, huh? Or use whatever I exile. Because I just want to play Siege Gang. Okay, it's just a mountain. Attack with our Siege Gang. Play another Siege Gang. Even if you can counter the second Siege Gang, we've got, like, Chandra Ultimate, potentially. Looks like he's got something. Disallow. Okay, we're getting a disallow out of the hand. He can't activate Crook this turn, so that's good. I mean, it's not that good, but it means that I still kind of have a relevant graveyard. Like, if his mana's ever pinched, I can go for it. Oh, cool. So we didn't have a Gearhulk, so we win. Awesome. Okay, last round on the draw with a super medium hand. Could be good against an aggro deck, maybe. I think I should probably mulligan. The God-Pharaoh's Gift is kind of already mulligan. Assuming I don't draw into, like, a bunch of lands and a Prospector. Let's go ahead and just ship it. Okay, this hand is obviously a one-lander, but at least I've got more stuff to work with. Like, the God-Pharaoh's Gift, I can hopefully loot away. Or just ramp into with a Skirk Prospector. Maybe that first hand is just supposed to be a keep. I'm not really sure. So I have no idea what this deck is. Oh, it's a Siphoner deck. Okay. Oh, Moto Bug. Classic. Classic start to our Malta 6. I think with a deck like this in game 1, you want to kind of be able to aggressively get a God-Pharaoh's Gift out there, and you just can't really do that. Oh, I should have played my other Bomat. Talking too quick. This is no Attune with Ether. He cannot draw an extra this next turn. Okay. I wonder, he might not have done that if I had 2 Bomats, so that's kind of hilarious how that played out. He didn't know that, like, the thing about that is he didn't know that I wasn't playing, like, mono red aggro or whatever, so I feel like he's more likely. Looks like this guy's probably playing a Constrictor deck, I would guess. Because if you're playing Adventurous Impulse, it means you just don't have that many spells. Ravenous Chupacabra. Okay. Man, that Chainwhirler would have been nice. Okay. I actually don't really want him to block the Prospector, but pretty sure it's free damage. And we're denying him a card draw, so... Chupacabra is going to take out my Bomat if he goes that route. Means that hopefully we can spike some creatures in the top cards. Or if we draw a land, I could actually win this game with Hazoret. Obviously Contempt is in play, but like if I Hazoret, it could get ugly. Oh, he's got a Walking Ballista. Yeah, that might actually just be game. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. I can beat this. I could really beat this. Because I've got a Bomat. Mountain. This is like so bizarre because I want to play the Hazoret and beat down. But if I do that, like, I'm playing a creature out of my hand that I really need to go to the graveyard. The problem is I'm like, unless I get pretty lucky, I can't actually gate this turn. So I just definitely have to play this. I think what I do is I just attack with both this and the Bomat, and then I just sack the Bomat, hoping for the best for next turn. Don't love losing the Prospector, but like, get to draw 2 cards. Feels pretty good to me. And hopefully that's going to be enough to like Oh, he's just chumping with a Siphoner. It means that he definitely doesn't have a Wrath of Contempt. So that's good. Could definitely... Well, almost certain... Well, I was going to say I might almost certainly die to a Gear Hulk, but I could combo kill him next turn. I need to find a Celebrant, though. Ooh, Ballista's good. Oh, but I'm just losing it anyway? Eh, I mean, it's good because it's a creature, I guess. Oh, you know what I was supposed to do? Since this is... I'm supposed... Oh, that's so bad. I'm so bad. This doesn't matter. What I'm supposed to do is sack the Bomat with the loot trigger of the Prospector on the stack. I think that works. Land as a brick. 2 more lands? Oh, no. We actually might just die. Now. Unless I draw a Ballista or a Prospector. Or Fanatical Firebrand. This could just be over. Not drawing any creatures there is just brutal. I'm pretty sure that I could have gotten a loot after. Which, I think we drew a land off the loot, so... all things created equal. If that would have happened, it wouldn't have mattered. Would have just still had 2 mountains in my hand. Oh no, we drew the Walking Ballista off the loot. So we would have had... basically, we would have gotten an extra loot. And maybe you could have actually killed this. Yeah, I mean, that was awful. But... growing pains, I suppose. So you sack the Skirk Prophet to the triggers on the stack. You have the mana, because the mana ability happens right away. Sack the Bomat. And then the loot happens at the end. Even though you can never sack the Bomat and get the loot at the right time, you can do that while the Skirk Prospector's loot's on the stack, yeah. Okay. Oh. Just not having a creature is just so bad. I don't even really... Is he gonna chump? I actually would love to see him chump. I feel like the longer this game lasts, the better it is for me. I suppose he's drawing 2 a turn. It is true that I don't really have a good thing to reanimate either. Rishkar, whatever. I'm at 18. Might just win with Hazoret if he's just chumping. There's no way he should chump there, right? Like, he's got so many good draws. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Seems like his hand's probably full of like Fatal Push and Blossoming Defense. Well, that's a tease. I guess I just cast it. I mean, it's not terrible, but would have been really good before. It does present a threat and go upstairs. I'm assuming it's just going to get Fatal Push. But I guess if it gets Fatal Push, then I get a gift. So actually, it was like a pretty good draw. Just a reason. It's like my best threat. Like that or a Combat Celebrant are both a huge threat. I just have to dodge him drawing like a Vraska's Contempt, I guess. Not sure how many this deck main decks. Oh, Chupacabra. I knew that he had that. Sorry. I've had a tough time focusing tonight in general, so we really just need to draw a creature and the next 2 draws. Okay, nice. So I think I might actually just have lethal. No. Well, like I can sack a Goblin token to kill that, but I'm not actually sure if he might have a Blossoming Defense. So I think I want to actually pull the one out of my library. Yeah, okay. Another one. So if he doesn't have a Blossoming Defense, we have lethal. I think we might have a lethal anyway, because I can just sack another token. But he might be holding on to Fatal Pushes. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Whatever. Can also dome for 2 with the Hazoret. Okay, got there. Alright, black-green. We definitely want a Braids. We definitely want Glorybringers. I'm actually not sure about Chandra on the draw, because he's got Ballista, Blossoming Defense, just creatures that get real big. I think it might not be right. We do have to trim some stuff, though. As good as Hazoret was, he's going to board in Vast's Contempt, and on the draw, when I'm boarding in a bunch of fat creatures, it's not ideal. Walking Ballista is fine. Combat Celebrant is not that good against Ballista, but I just can't cut it. Goblin Chainwhirler is just a good blocker. So I think what we do is probably cut down on some number of 4 and 5 drops. Let's cut a Rowdy Crew and a Siege Gang. And I guess, can I cut a Celebrant? Really? No, I can't. Cut a Chainwhirler. I think that Chandra's going to be good on the play. It's like, it's weird not decided in, but I'm pretty sure that against this specific deck on the draw, it's not going to be worth it. There's basically too much that can go wrong. Like Gearhulk, them having a strong draw. Them having a Blossoming Defense. Them just using a Vast's Contempt. Or like, I minus it, then they just play a Ballista and kill it anyway. So, we're going to run it this way. Okay, this is a good hand, actually. Don't have any super powerful cards, but got some role players. Have a Prospector. I wonder if against the Walking Ballista decks, like the Constrictor decks specifically, I'm supposed to just hold the Prospector till I need it. Because if he plays a Walking Ballista and just kills it before I get a gate online, could be problematic. I think it's very unlikely to be able to attack that profitably, so I'm just not going to play it. Especially because he's got a Llanowar Elves. Two Llanowar Elves? So I kind of want to kill one now. But I could kill both in 2 turns. That's just too late. I could just abrade whatever he plays off of them. Which is not terrible. Like, what could he play? There's nothing he could play that I'm that worried about. Like, Jade Light, I guess, is the thing that could get him out of this Mana Screw situation. So let's just abrade. Like, just Stone Raining him has got to be good. Because it buys me time to, like, start doing good stuff. He draws a land, but it's not like the end of the world that we did what we did. He's got a Siphoner. So I think I'm just going to pop it off now. I could wait and try to kill both, though. If I drew anything to play, I would do that. Well, he could have another Siphoner, maybe. Not convinced that that's true. If I played the Prospector, I could just ramp this out. And kill this. Well, would that be even good? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna play both. That way, my Rowdy Crew is like has a higher percentage of chance of just drawing lands, even though like a 5/5 is good. Maybe I should kill the Elves. Nah, I'm gonna kill the Siphoner. Let him have the Elves. Pretty sure if he had a Ranger, he would have probably played it. I don't mind leaving with the Elves in play, because it means lands are bad. Okay, he kills my Prospector. That's fine. Oh, another Rowdy Crew? That's good. In case, hopefully we hold on to that one. Okay. We did manage to hold on to it. Didn't win the flip, though. Would have been sick to have discarded 2 lands there. Chupacabra. I actually don't mind. Like, as long as we're not getting... We're way behind, like, a Constrictor draw. Ooh, that's good. I'm just going to play that. I guess that's a reason not to do, like... Not to play it the way I did, but... I think I'm actually just not going to play a land. I only need 5 lands anyway. For, like, Glorybringers and Gate. Yeah, if I draw a gift, then I'll wish I played a land, but he's just stuck on lands. I want to maximize my rowdiness here. Do I want to play Prospector first? He's got a Ballista in play, so I don't think so. I just want to maximize the chance that I get a gate somehow. Missed again on the Rowdy Crew. I think I actually want to attack here. I can play a big Ballista next turn. So, the only problem is he just gets to Blossoming Defense. So I didn't see one game 1. I'm not even sure if he'd have it in his deck here. And if he doesn't, like, we're just putting a lot of pressure on him. If he doesn't play a land, we can just eat his Ballista, start getting in. See what he's got. Another Chupacabra? That's fine. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. Really? He would just 2-for-1 himself to kill the Rowdy Crew? So what's the difference? I think I just take it. I'd rather be able to attack with my Rowdy Crew. Oh, Siege Gang? I think I actually wait till I'm at 7 mana to play it. This just seems too good right now. He actually should ping my Rowdy Crew. Save himself damage, which is fine. I'm just left with a better board, and my hand's pretty good. He goes face. Okay. Could mean he's got a Gearhulk of some sort. But I know that he doesn't have a 5th land, so I'm just gonna start attacking. I think that I've got a lot of burn in my hand right now, so I also think that it's possible he just missed the fact that he could ping my Rowdy Crew. Attack with both, mate. Yeah, there you go. It's fine. If he wants to get in this race, like, I know that I have a Siege Gang, so I'm completely comfortable in this race. I can't imagine that a Gearhulk swings it versus a Siege Gang, because I can just chump and ping. He could have oh, does he have another Chupacabra? That actually could be a little annoying, because now we're getting to the point where, like, he's just way ahead on board, and I'm at 10 life. I don't think there's any 4 mana things you can play that aren't bad for me, though. Yeah, there's a Ballista for 2. Okay, so that's game, right? It's gotta be game. I don't know. Siege Gang is 4 damage. Siege Gang is 8 damage plus 2 pings. It's 12 damage on its own with the Celebrant, so... So we just pitch the Siege Gang. We were beating him in a fair game, too. Would have been cool to see us win a fair game, but when he played a bunch of dudes... Almost clicked cancel. Oh, the siege gain's only 6 damage. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But not 8 damage. I don't know why I was thinking it was 8 damage. Cool. We got 8 chests for that. Not bad.